John, for a lot of your career, people have been talking about you fighting in New York, Madison Square Garden. To finally be here, days away from doing it, what does the emotions feel like right now?
Oh, it just feels great. What's up, New York? How we doing? How we doing, New York? Let's hear you. Woo! Oh, it feels great to be here. It's always been a dream of mine to fight at the Garden, and I'd be lying if I said this fight didn't just feel different. It's a very special thing. New York has some of the best fans in the world, and I'm glad to be able to give you guys what you want to see.
Earlier this week, you made it pretty clear you were upset with Stipe Miocic calling you a bitch on the Countdown episode. Why exactly were you so upset by that?
You know, I feel like Stipe has this. Everyone likes first responders. You know, and I actually respect men and women in the armed forces and law enforcement, things like that. So I made it a point to try to be very respectful to him. And there's been two scenarios now. The first scenario, he said, my kids will never look at me like I'm an asshole. That was a direct attack to me and my family and my relationship with my kids. Second attack was him calling me a bitch. So the respect is a little bit out the window, and we'll see that on Saturday.
Would you describe this fight as personal to you now?
Excuse me?
Would you describe this as personal to you now, this fight?
It's very personal to me, yes.
For you, Stipe, are you kind of surprised to hear his reaction to that? And do you even feel like you want to apologize for some of those things you said?
I mean, yeah, I don't remember saying when my kids look. I don't remember saying that when my kids look at me like an asshole. That was no direct thing to him, and that when I said "bring it on, bitch," it was pretty much he was calling me out, telling me he's gonna beat my ass in front of a whole arena of people. So, sorry for defending myself. I apologize.
He said it's personal. Do you feel like this is personal now?
I mean, I think every fight's personal no matter what. I think you're fighting another man, another octagon, it's just you against him, and it's always personal.
What is your reaction to Dana saying the winner of this fight has to fight Tom, that you won't be fighting Alex if you win?
I have no reaction. Right now I'm focused on Saturday. Saturday's just a few days away, and that's the biggest thing for me right now.
So absolutely no thoughts on Alex next or anything, just fully focused on Stipe?
I did a really long press conference yesterday, and I feel like I really broke it down for everybody, exactly how I felt. So tonight, it's all about Stipe.
Thank you.
And for Stipe Miocic, Stipe, I know you feel definitively you're going to win this fight. If that's what happens, do you feel an immediate rematch with John Jones is what would happen because he has never been beaten?
I mean, yeah, but right now I'm worried about Saturday. So yeah, once I get it done, yeah, we'll talk.
Who's got the next question? You?
Down here, Dana.
Go ahead.
Welcome back to New York.
Thank you, buddy.
Question for Stipe Miocic. In the long build-up to this fight, the man to your right has repeatedly campaigned for John Jones as the pound-for-pound greatest of all time. Has that affected your mindset during the build-up, and what are your honest thoughts on Dana singing your opponent's praises?
I mean, nothing new. I mean, John's done well. I mean, he's pound for pound, he's the best. You know, they call him the GOAT, and it is what it is. I mean, nothing new to me. And listen, I train just as hard as anyone else.
John, do you have any reactions to the praises that Dana's been saying for you back and forth during the build-up?
I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for the compliment. I've been here for a long time. I've beat generations of fighters, and I believe Dana knows what he's talking about. So I'm grateful for it, and I try to live up to it with every performance.
Just a quick one for Michael Chandler as well.
Clarify your opinion on this for the fans at Madison Square Garden. Who is the pound-for-pound number one in the UFC, and who is the greatest of all time?
Listen, it is my belief that as long as this guy is active, he's the best. He's the pound-for-pound best in the world, and he's the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
I'll
Go ahead,
be
sir.
right on Saturday, too.
Appreciate it, Dana. Questions for Stipe. Stipe, you've been an underdog betting-wise against Fabricio Verdum, Junior Dos Santos, Francis DC, but you're coming in as the longest odds of your entire career right now. Why do you think the public has overlooked your ability to step back in the ring and get it done?
I don't care. I've never cared about the odds. You know, Vegas hates me, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
Question for John Jones over here. We kind of see you've assembled a team of Avengers in your corner for this fight. What do you have to say about the guys in your corner? Gable Steveson, Gordon Ryan, your friend Osi over there.
Man, I'm really blessed to be surrounded by really great men and women in my life. Not only Gable and not only Gordon and all these guys, but shout out to both of those guys, by the way, two of America's finest athletes. But I got guys who's been with me for years who's helped me get to this point. Coach Greg Jackson, Brandy Gibson, Professor Alan Carr, Paige, and Coach Aaron, Coach Alex. I got a really solid squad of guys, and our team was pretty damn close to perfect before adding these two great additions. And now a perfect team just became that much better. I'm definitely prepared to have a great ground fight this Saturday night for sure.
And then
question for John down here to your right as well. You've beaten a litany of UFC Hall of Famers during your career. Where would a win over Stipe rank amongst those wins?
And as far as beating Stipe, where would that rank? I've defeated a lot of amazing athletes, and Stipe is an amazing athlete. Even though I don't quite like him as of right now, which it's fighting. Who cares if I like him or not? I have to respect what he's done in the UFC. I've seen this man use that right hand to get some really great guys. So I got nothing but respect for the dude at the end of the day, and that's what's going to make it such a great fight. I know he has a great team and a great family. I have a great team and a great family, and that's what MMA is all about. Martial arts is all about two greats getting together and seeing who's the better fighter.
And Stipe, down here to your right as well, same question to you. Where would you rank a win over John in the list of wins that you had in your career?
John pretty much summed it up right there, man. I'm not much of a talker, as you know, but like you said, he's got a great team, great family, as do I. And this man, it's gonna be some fireworks on Saturday, and I can't wait.
Thanks. This is the last question. Hey, guy in the green sweater, you asking a question? Yeah,
yes,
go ahead.
Sir. Thank you. One question for John Jones. So, asking whether this win or even before this win on Saturday night, do you have yourself on the Mount Rushmore of American sports? And if you do, how does the rest of Mount Rushmore look?
Man, it's hard to stand up here and kind of toot my own horn, but I don't know if I can put myself on the Mount Rushmore of all American sports, but I do recognize that I've won, 15, 16 world titles, and that's very rare in any sport. Tom Brady told me that I think he had like 7 titles, 6 titles, and I know Michael Phelps did a really great thing with the Olympics. He has many, many titles. 17 is very rare. It's very rare, and I guess that's a question that you have to answer. Your fans have to answer, but I'm grateful to be even mentioned in a conversation like this.